Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Damian Saint, and I am back with another Talk is Saint podcast. I had this guest on my show before, but it was kind of one of the shittier versions of the podcast, but that's okay because we're here to start over, start fresh, and I am here with Antonio Sylva, formerly known as JC Hardcore, and I'm here with him right now, Talk is Saint podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And he is here. So, couple questions. By couple questions, probably mean like a lot. But obviously, RSPW has been going on for a couple months since the last pay-per-view, since I was there when I beat TJ Jackson, the returning TJ Jackson, the returning J-Mac, and the returning SW. I beat all of them.
He's Ty Remedy now, remember?
Yeah, but I'm just going off before. He could be Ty Remedy now. And that's another thing. That's another thing I want to talk about really quickly. A quick little Saint rant real quick. I've been gone for like 4 weeks, like a month, maybe about a month, maybe a little bit longer than that. What the hell happened with everybody's name? Like, I'm gone, and then I come back, and I'm like, Prince Icon's now Carmelo Lee, TJ Jackson's now Ty Remedy, JC Hardcore is now Antonio Sylva, and I'm just sitting here like, did I miss something? What happened?
So I decided to change the name because JC Hardcore just wasn't working for me anymore. Like, you know, I was sitting there and I'm like, JC Hardcore, like, I don't hardcore wrestle. So what the fuck am I going to be considered JC Hardcore, you know? So I thought about it and I was like, my middle, you know, how you have your middle name Damien, you know, I did the same kind of thing. I said Antonio. I love the name Antonio. I just love that name. And then my old wrestling name when I first started, you probably remember, it was Sylva. So I said, I wanted to bring back the Sylva thing, but I didn't want to bring just Sylva, so I said Antonio Sylva. But instead of with an I, it's with a Y, because there's actually a professional MMA fighter, I think retired now.
There's multiple people with the last name.
Well, his name is actually Antonio Sylva with an I. Silva instead of Sylva. So I thought of changing it Prince or Chris, whatever. We're doing a podcast, so we don't really have to character name them. But my little brother, I don't know why he changed his name. And then TJ, Ty Remedy, whatever you want to call him, he changed his name because he was just the same way as me, tired of the TJ Jackson name, and he wanted something that made more sense. We all wanted something that gave us more like, hey, this is a guy we can look at 5 years from now and be like, okay, he's actually professional. We wanted more professional names, if you get my flow of professional. I can't really talk about professional, but you know what I'm talking about.
It's difficult because it's hard because some of us have had these names since we started back in RUW, which was 6-7 years ago almost. Like, it's almost been 10 years because this past back in 2021 when we did the big pay-per-view, our first ever live stream, that was our 5-year anniversary, and we're coming up on 6. And that's just for RSPW, so that doesn't count the 2 years we did RUW. So if you're counting all that, we're at like 8 years, just about. Oh, yeah. And that's a long time. And some of us have had these names since day one. Yeah. Like Carmelo Lee has always been Prince Icon. He's always been Icon. Like, he's always had the name Icon. He's never went by a different name since RUW to now. Me, I started off as Nightmare, but like 3 weeks after having that, like, I immediately changed it to Damian Saint. And I've been Damian Saint forever, except that one time I tried to change it to DSX, which didn't last because nobody called me that. I was still getting called Damian Saint. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to stay as Damian Saint.
That's like fucking
Christian Cross when he came out as Tribute X. Mind you.
Mason Riley, too.
But Tribute X was a good name.
It was.
Because of me, we named it after an energy drink, a Rip It energy drink. Yeah. It was hilarious. Yeah, and not only that, you've only changed your name once, and it was like long ago. Like, you changed it like once from Sylva to the Natural Sylva. I remember that.
It was Natural Sylva.
And then it went to JCR Core.
It was, so originally it was the Natural, then it went to Sylva, then it was JCR Core. For one show only, I did the Johnny Schizo thing. For one show only, because it was a character I came out of my ass with. It didn't fall through. I didn't like it at all. And then Now I'm Antonio Silva. Like I said, it doesn't matter professional world or backyard world. It's gonna be Antonio Silva from now on.
Right. Like I'm not shitting on anybody's names. I like the name changes. It just like all hit me at once. Like I'm sitting at home, I open up YouTube on my PlayStation, and I'm just like, who the fuck is this? Or like, who is this? Who is this? And I'm looking through. I'm like, did I miss something? Like,
no, everybody.
But I guess this is my fault because I took some time off because I've been busy, work, doing a bunch of other things. Exactly. I feel like a shitty champion because as soon as I won that belt, I swore I was gonna defend it. I was like, I'm a fighting champion. But I just had a lot of personal stuff going on. Everybody understood that here.
Everybody deserves time off. I thought about a little time off myself, but it's the love of wrestling. Like, I could sit there literally for 5-10 hours and just talk about how much I love wrestling and how much it's been part of my life. Like,
how many times did I retire?
70 million.
Right, and I'm still here. There's just always something that calls you back. Always something like
it's like a drug.
The first time I retired, if I remember correctly, and this doesn't include times I was kicked out. One time I actually retired, I think, is when I injured.
You injured Prince.
I injured Icon. I Irish whipped him into the side of the trampoline a little bit too hard, and he hit his leg on the pole, and I felt so bad that I just retired and took up a GM role. And then not even a month after that, I'm back. Because we had no wrestlers on our roster. It was literally just me, you, Icon, and Dae Young, and occasionally J-Mac at the time. And then, so I had no choice but to come out of retirement at that point, or else we had a one-match show all the damn time.
Yeah, and I'm actually, very excited about this roster, the newcomers we got.
I'm excited about RSPW lately in general. If you take a look back at what we did 2-3 years ago, if you go watch our first ever video, which was me and Dae Young, and then you compare me and Dae Young now,
there's a lot of growth.
A lot of trust, growth. We're doing crazy shit. And speaking of Dae Young, he's now the general manager. That's cool. Didn't know about that. So
yeah,
that's amazing.
That came out of his just random. He hit us up in the group chat, and he's just like, dude, he's like, I want to do some general manager work.
I like it though. It fits.
And he plays it so perfectly, low. You have to hate the dude. But
there's a part of you that can't hate him though.
No, you gotta hate to love him. It's a love-hate relationship.
Because I was watching the promo he did, and Carmelo's just trying to give him some fucking potato chips, and he's like, "No, I don't want your chips." It's like you hate him, but you love him at the same time.
Exactly.
It's hard.
It's like with me. The fans don't like me, but they also like me. They don't like me as a person, but they like me as a wrestler. They like me on the show. But they don't like me as a person. Or as a person.
I know how that feels.
They like me as a person.
I think his name, Apache King. Yeah, Apache King hated me for some weird reason. I did nothing wrong. And I believe this is when I was a good guy. So I was a face. And he was just in the comments just talking so much shit about me. And I'm sitting here confused.
They used to do the overrated in the group chat.
Yeah, but not even the overrated channel. I don't know what I did, specifically to Apache King. But when he first started watching this, he just had this hatred towards me. And then he somehow got some knowledge of my personal life, and then started slowly liking me more because of how I was outside of wrestling, because he saw I did the donation thing. And I was like, no. But he was talking so much, he hated me for, I don't think anybody in the comments have ever hated me more than him when he first came to our channel.
Now this is actually, it's weird. It's the first time on your podcast you probably actually gotten asked a question, but where the fuck did the Maker moment come from? How the hell did that come out? Because I know John Maker, he's our biggest fan. And if you were watching
this... I don't know, because back then I used to do all the craziest shit. By craziest shit, I mean I could lift up everybody. So I could pick up Icon or Carmelo Lee and throw him. I could pick up you and throw you. I was picking up J-Mac, people the big people, Dark Scorpion. I was able to pick them up and do moves that you couldn't do. No offense, I don't mean this offensively, but you couldn't pick up Dark Scorpion at the time. Icon at the time couldn't do it. And I was just the guy who doesn't look like the powerhouse was the powerhouse. And I feel like John Maker just came out of nowhere and was just Maker moment number 1 and put a timestamp, and it was just me fucking F5ing someone or fucking suplexing someone or doing some heavy ass fucking move you wouldn't expect a guy like me to do, because yes, I'm tall, but I don't have that body where you'd be like, oh yeah, he could definitely pick up that 350-pound person, but then I do it. So like I feel like the maker moments just happen, and I just became the stitching point. Like I just became John Maker's stitching point to just like, when is Damian Saint gonna have that next maker moment? And there's been other people who've been in maker moments too. Like they have not always been me.
Oh yeah.
So, but like I feel like I'm the one that started it, and there's no actual proof of that, because I'm pretty sure maker moments started in RUW. So I cannot quote that, but
he's been one of our longest fans.
There's been a lot of times where he showed up, and like recently I just thanked him for being with us for so long when I posted my video about me doing the concert things. I made saying things that I was just taking a break because I have a bunch of concerts I'm doing now, concert critiques and stuff like that, which is actually really fun. If you guys want to come meet up with me August 4th in Syracuse, Lakeview Amphitheater, I'm going to see Falling in Reverse live. So if you guys see me there, make sure you come and get a high five from the Saint himself.
Maybe a kiss on the cheek too.
Yeah, maybe a kiss on the cheek. Who knows?
Maybe you'll make them cookies.
Yeah, I'll cook them chicken. All right, but back to the thing at hand. You just won a belt, YouTube champion, and right now you are kind of like below Carmelo Lee in a way. I wouldn't say like below him, but like what's going on with your guys' tag team?
So,
or what's going on with that? Because every time you guys have gotten into a tag team, like I think this is like the third or fourth time you guys have been in a tag team, and it's always ended with you turning on him.
Oh.
Is this something we can expect? Are you just using him like you've always had before? Or is this a new Antonio Sylva? Are you changing your ways and showing us that people can change?
There's not a lot I can really speak on that. But so the idea came when I was watching an old video, and it was when we were the Bloodline a while back, actually, probably a couple years ago.
Is this when, sorry to cut you off, is this when we were coming back, like after winter, and you and Prince Icon teamed up, but you were the good guy?
No, this was during the storyline where you broke his crown. And he used
so I was tagged with Dae Young.
It was the storyline where you broke his crown, but it was before that when he still had the crown on. It was that one video a while back where we came out with boxing gloves on. And we were like...
I don't remember.
Yeah, we came out with boxing gloves on, and we were like doing this weird like NWO kind of like entrance. Like punching air kind of like... And I thought it was cool, so I went to him... Because we live in the same house, so I walked into his bedroom actually, and I was like, yo... I said, what would you want to do about bringing back the Bloodline, but with a different name? Because we can't use that because WWE is using it. With the Usos. Shout out to the Usos and shit. If you guys, I don't know if they ever watch our videos, but I'm pretty sure.
If you watch this, give me free tickets.
But no, so we were chilling, sitting there hanging out, whatever, drinking, hanging out. Like, us dudes do. And
they were drinking regular liquids.
Yes, water. But no, like, we were just cutting a promo one day, and one of us together, after, I know you guys saw the show where I came out after Desmond or Dae Young and Prince's match.
Which
one? I Claymore'd him, and everybody, not a single fucking person knew that was gonna happen. Not a single person in the crowd knew, and that was probably the biggest.
Not even your mother. Not even, because I remember your mother was like, "What is he doing? I didn't know he was involved." And then your mother was just like, "Oh shit!" Like you had everybody shocked.
The pop that happened was like, because before that I was supposed to be portraying a face, so I came out and that was my official quote heel turn, like official joining the biggest heel in RSPW, the Icon, Prince, Carmelo Lee, whatever you want to call him, and I decided, I was like, fuck it. I told him, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to Claymore him in the middle of the spot, and then you're going to pin him 1, 2, 3. And, we cut a promo shortly after that, and he said the Empire by accident. And we had to redo it. And I'm like, that sounds like a fucking amazing name for a group. It just sounds good, because he's the king, he's the prince. So now, when an Empire strikes, he's moving up to the king. He'd be the king.
To be honest, he practically is the king of backyard. I mean, look at him.
Exactly.
He's still holding on to that belt, and it's almost been a year.
We actually came up with the idea of doing a King of the Ring eventually. You know, and I thought that'd been a cool idea to do a King of the Ring. The fans could see that soon, maybe. But we won't speak more on that because there's more booking ideas to do with that. But
we got a bunch of stuff planned.
But,
there's a show next Saturday.
The 18th,
as of right now, there's only one confirmed match, and boy, oh boy, am I not prepared for that. Not what I was expecting, but when I wake up at 3 in the morning and watch a promo or watch a video and Dae Young demanding me to show up and fight, I'm like, I mean, he's not wrong. I did sign a contract. Yeah. I did sign that year or however long contract. I don't remember. I know what I signed. I know that I signed, and I know I'm supposed to defend my belt, and I'm going to defend my belt whenever you guys want. But when I'm demanded to do things,
it's a different
it's kind of different. I'm sitting there watching the video. I'm like, all my stuff is packed away. Like, I put my stuff away, and I was trying to put that side of me to rest for a while. You know, trying to focus on and do different things. I wasn't retired, but I was also kind of like in between. I was like in the middle bar between wanting to do it and then wanting to, you know, relax. Dae Young made me cross that line to wanting to come back. So I'm going to defend my Northeastern Championship next Saturday, June 18th. Not even in July yet. June 18th.
Just started.
Against Dae Young. I don't even know what kind of match it is. I don't even know if there's a stipulation. It could just be a regular one-on-one. But if he thinks he's going to take that belt away from me, I don't know. We're going to have to bring back Phyllis Brown because our GM's not going to be able to walk.
Bring back Phyllis Brown.
But enough about me. You recently won the YouTube championship against Jay Flea, right? You beat him for it?
No, I beat Dae Young. Because Dae Young came out and he's like, I have no opponents to put this belt up against. I'm winning it. Whatever. Being the bad guy he is.
Was that the last show?
It was last show, yes.
I don't remember that. I must have not watched it.
He came out with the belt and he's like, I'm the general manager. I'm putting myself in this match and I'm having the mystery opponent. Boom, bow. I come out. We fight. He's beating my ass the whole match and I come back and somehow win it. Yeah.
Sounds like
It was a very unenjoyable match. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was a very enjoyable match, and I was happy I won, but I was mad that the match went the way it went because Dae Young is supposed to be like, he out-heeled me, and I'm supposed to be one of the top heels, quote quote. So he out-heeled me and made me look like I was the babyface when I wasn't. Yeah, but I told him backstage, and you could agree with me, that I told him that he needs to start learning how to take matches over. You know, taking the match over.
Well, I guess we're going to find out June 18th.
And he did it well. We have 2 matches that haven't been uploaded, but we're not going to upload them because there's no point. Because
the last time...
TJ, you know, it wouldn't make sense to upload them.
Last time I wrestled was a champion versus champion tables match against Carmelo Lee, but at the time he was Prince Icon, and I suplexed him through a table, but the way Prince Icon at the time was holding me, we both went through the table at the same time. So beautiful. It was hard to tell who won the match. I was still on the ground while Icon got up, walked away laughing. So to me, I felt like I lost that match. Because granted it was a tie, I felt like I lost. So not only did I take a break to, you know, nurture my wounds at the time, because, you know, going through a door necessarily doesn't feel great. But I thought about coming back and defending my title, but it just hit me like, no matter how many times I faced the Prince, I could not come out on top. That starts to take a toll on my mentality when I can beat everybody but him. I was in a fatal 4-way, but could not beat one person one-on-one. But I could beat 3 other people who are arguably some of the best in the backyard history.
Oh, yeah.
J-Mac, TJ Jackson at the time, and SW. 3 people returning, and I beat them for the Northeastern Championship. But I couldn't beat Icon. That fucks with my mentality.
Yeah, but the thing is crazy about him actually. I always say this about my little brother is like, I don't know where the hell he gets that that just like sadisticness. Like he like people see him like when I'm gonna put it out here, when he's in his room, he's a whole different human being.
Oh yeah,
trust me. But when he's in that character, that kid is like, he scares me.
I've been best friends with him for going on 15 years. I think I know what you're talking about.
It's like terrifying though. It's like when he fought Dae Young at the show.
Which one?
At the recent show we just did, the pay-per-view, where we had the crowd and everything, where he was gushing out of his knuckles. Like
that's not the first time he did. He did that last time he fought Dae Young.
But the thing about it that made me so sick, I was actually standing next to C2K because he was at the show. I invited him, and he was there, and like me and him were watching, and he was punching the TV, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And then he just comes up, licks his fingers, and wipes blood on his face, and I'm just like, what in the hell is gone through?
And that's the first time we had to put a warning on a YouTube video heading, because we've never had to do that before. We've never had the most amount of blood we saw on camera is when Dae Young broke my nose. Well, like actual blood.
Besides the days where we would do like blood every fucking match, but it wasn't real blood.
Most of the time it was like fake blood, but like real blood, we haven't seen that much blood like on camera visibly since Dae Young broke my nose. Exactly. Most time it's like a little cut or scrape. Like I still have the scar on my arm and my side from the Fatal 4-Way when TJ Jackson put me through the table.
Oh yeah.
And it's
I still got my scars on my arm.
It's like, we're going to do this no matter what. No matter if we get 1 view, no matter if we get 1 million views. We don't care if we get 1 comment or 1,000 comments or no comments. We're going to do RSPW as long as we're breathing. Like, I don't care if we're all in our 30s. One of us is going to catch the bright fucking idea, hey, let's do a comeback show. But right now, we're almost at 800 subscribers or 700.
700.
Yeah, something like that. And we're still getting subscribers almost every day.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, we haven't uploaded in God knows how long. Like, we take breaks on end, and then we just come back out of nowhere, and we're just getting subscribers and subscribers.
682 exact.
But
457 videos. That's a lot of fucking videos.
Yeah. We are arguably the best backyard wrestling company of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Besides all the drama, besides all the issues, besides everything that goes on, as a company, we have carried the backyard name to the point where you said you were getting requests from other backyard companies to come wrestle for them. Carmelo Lee was getting requests. I've gotten requests.
I've gotten requests from professional companies.
So have I. We all. You guys are currently in training for professional wrestling, like actual professional wrestling. And what we're doing right now is like, we're using our platform to continue doing what we want to do, but on the other side, we're able to learn how to do it properly and safely. Like, it's easy to go out on a trampoline and just fake fight each other. Like, that's easy. But taking the time to come up with stories, the details, the feuds, the moves, the cards, all that stuff takes time, takes effort. Like, if you look years ago, all of us would sit down the day of the show. Like, most of the times we never planned dates for the show. One of us would wake up in the morning, fucking 10 a.m., half asleep, text in a group chat. Show today? Everybody be like, yup, no problem.
Let's do it.
Everybody just showed up.
That's the thing we're actually changing. I don't know if Prince ever brought it up to you, but
so many.
We actually, and the fans might like this a little bit better. We want to book our shows kind of like how UFC does. So
once or twice a month. Yeah.
Once or twice a month. So we'll build it up with videos, promos, whatever, and then we'll have a show first couple weeks, and then one at the end of the month. Like, only 2 shows a month. You know? And I think that's better because, it doesn't tire us out. It doesn't tire our creative. And the fans fans can get in tune more now because we're doing that, right. Like the recent video I just put out.
And not only that, like, most of the fans know that they can contact us personally. You know, most of us have Instagram.
Mike
I have a TikTok.
Scott Fitz. They all message me.
TikTok, Instagram. Most of us have it.
I haven't seen Mike Lopez comment in a while, but he likes all my Facebook posts on my personal page, my Instagram, everything. He's great. Like Scott Phipps too. Like
I do like the idea of 2 times a month. I do see us, since doing the 2 times a month, that we're going to progressively do it more. Like, obviously, like when we get more subscribers, more popularity, more out there, we're obviously going to do shows more because there's going to be a higher demand for it. Right now, there's not really a higher demand for it. That's why we're doing the 2 shows a month. I mean, there's still a demand, but it's not a high enough demand where we want to tire ourselves out by doing it like every few days. So, first of the month, end of the month, that's great. Mm-hmm. Because, except we're taking a weird turn for this month because we have a show next Saturday. We're also doing a surprise show on July 2nd. No matches. They're going to take that day off. Nothing's been confirmed. No matches or anything. It's just a show.
Well, I'm actually your time. I'm going to go ahead and... July 2nd?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go... Saturday the 2nd?
I'm going to request it off.
As you should. We're trying to get crowds. We're trying to do more shows with crowds. So we're going
to even start allowing fans to come.
Yeah, if you guys want to come and show up, contact us personally. I don't feel comfortable giving out the address on YouTube or like out there. If you guys are in New York, close enough to Rochester, and you guys want to come see us live, be our guest. You're more than welcome. Next Saturday, Damian Sa1nt will take on Dae Young, and I will defend the Northeastern Championship. Speaking of championships, not to toot my own horn here, I kind of feel like when most backyard companies are like, I watch a lot of other backyard companies and like their promos and like their people, and I'm like thinking to myself, it's like, they're bad. They're just bad.
Like, speaking of other backyard companies, not to cut you off, but
I mean, it's fine. I don't even know what I was saying. I just wanted to let people know that other people are bad.
Makes me so mad. And his name is Jack Delta. I don't know if you ever seen that kid, but he is the most. I don't care. He probably watches their videos, and I have beef with this kid. Like, not beef, but like it's on a little level. Like, I remember one day I joked with him on one of his on his channel or on his Instagram, and I said, "How about you come to RSPW and show us how good of a wrestler you are?" And he got pissed. This dude like was so mad. Like he's like, "Oh, I'd come to the show and make all you guys look like children." I said, "You wish you fucking would." I said, dude, like he's a good wrestler, but he's the guy from MEBW, a channel that died. And no offense to them, they're a great company, but we've been doing that. We have drama. We've had issues. We've had people leave, come back, and we're still doing this shit. Like, there's nothing that's going to stop this company. If anything, we're going to go bigger and make this a professional company one day.
Yeah.
Pro.
And it's very weird, like, when other... Like, it's weird knowing that another company's watching your stuff.
Like, we were supposed to team up with FWE. Or not FWE, so whatever they're from Buffalo. They're Buffalo.
I know who you're talking about because I remember
we're still supposed to be doing stuff with them, but they haven't hit me up.
It's difficult because we want to grow out and, work with other people and have other people work with us, but it's like we can't boost anybody's ego. Like, we're not ego boosters. We want to put on a good show. Whether you come to our show and win or lose, winning or losing shouldn't matter. It should just be about you coming and chilling, having a good time with another company and just putting on a hell of a match. Simple as that. So when I was in talks with this one company, or this one dude who was running a company in Canada, I think it was, and he was talking about coming down here because he was visiting New York. He said he was going to come and stop at RSPW. I don't think I mentioned this to any of you guys because after what he said, I just threw it on this table. And it was just, it was weird because we were talking back and forth and we were getting along fine. And I was like ready to invite him. I was like, you should come to one of our shows, maybe even be involved, co-company, whatever. And then he was just like, everybody in my company would destroy you. And I'm like, not to toot our horn, but like if you put JCR Core, because your new name isn't really out there yet, but if you take JCR Core or Damian Sa1nt or Prince Icon and put that in your headline for a different show that doesn't say RSPW, you're getting views. Simple as that. You're going to get views.
Look at fucking look at RXW for example. No channel ever. Christian's on the freaking cover, and people are on there riding his pee-pee.
RXW.
Yeah.
I created RXW.
Yeah.
I created the logo, the intro. I'm the one that got everybody involved in RXW, and I was wrongfully kicked out because I tried to make peace with you. I was cool with you, and I was trying to get everybody like on your side and like apologize so we could all do a company together and like all be friends again. And I got kicked out by Shotgun. I made a little video about that because it happened like 3 years ago or some shit like that back in 2019. So I made like a quick promo just talking my shit. And I'm like, yo. So like, not even a couple of days after I posted that promo, like all I did was try to play Peacemaker. And I got kicked out.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, okay, whatever. So like, I made a promo a couple of weeks ago. And then out of nowhere, here's the funny part. Shotgun texted me privately like a couple weeks ago, like after I posted that video, and threatened me. So you know what I did? I sent the laughing emoji. Never responded. He knows where I live. Like, what is he gonna do? It's just weird. It's just weird.
Yeah, like a funny backstory. I don't know if you remember this. This is actually a funny backstory. When we had like 20 plus roster members, and there was that one guy, that one wrestler called the Premium. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh, was he the dude that showed up and like took a chop and then just dipped, never showed up again?
That's where I'm getting to. So it's actually a funny story. I remember
because that's when we were training Mike, right? We were training Mike Showtime.
That's when we.
And then he was there too, alongside Gason K and fucking, someone else was there. JR and TJ Jackson. They were all training.
That's when they all started training. But that's when TJ was discovered as a new talent. And JR was
at the time.
But we don't talk about him anymore.
Yeah, he's
dead.
But
I remember that day. And for anybody that's listening, when you train with RSPW, we don't fuck around. We actually
take it seriously.
We train you so you are ready. We make you do the bumps. We make you take the bruises. We make you do every single thing so you are safe. And this is the thing I didn't like about that kid. Because he wouldn't listen to me. He wouldn't listen to nobody. Not even Dark Scorpion. Not even John the Rock. And you know John. He may not be as big as people think he is. But he's done this. He's been in the ring. He's done that. You know, he's whatever. And he wouldn't even listen to CTK. Or I would say don't even involve them. He wouldn't even listen to Dark Scorpion. And we know how Dark Scorpion is. He's one of the biggest people in our company.
Was.
Not. He's got his own, but let's just put it out. He wouldn't listen to anybody, and I remember the day vividly. I was talking to my one of my coworkers at work actually about it. I was like, I remember one day, John was there, Miguel, everybody was there. It was like 20 of us, and he was there. He didn't listen to nobody, so we lined him up on a tree, and we had somebody hold his arms. I forget who it was, and every person. John looked at us, looked at everybody, said chop line. And everybody chopped him. Every person there chopped him.
Never showed up again.
And he never showed up again. And I said, if you want to be a professional, and I told him before this, if you want to be a professional wrestler, backyard wrestler, fucking school, it doesn't matter. You have to learn everything. And everybody that trains has to take at least a chop. And it's how they do in pro. You have to take the move from everybody. If you're learning a curb stomp, for example, you have to take it from everybody that knows how to do that move.
Right.
Clothesline, you have to take it from everybody.
When we look at people who we trained back here, I mean,
Jay Flea, for example, he's one of the up and coming guys.
I trained him for a little bit, but then you did most of the work.
I've been training him every day.
Derek, aka Drift, aka D Money, whatever the fuck he goes by, I trained him the first time, and right now he's going through the training process again, sort of. But I remember training him, and he was just. I have my moments with him, but he was really good.
No need to toot my horn, but I trained TJ. That I'm the reason
Fine.
TJ.
You want to train DJ? We'll go like this. Not to my own horn. I train Dae Young.
Well, not to my own. No.
No, I remember. Funny story about train Dae Young. I remember RUW. We just got done with the show, or we were just starting a show, and this was before Dae Young was on our roster. So now you're talking years ago. Like Dae Young shows up. He's talking to you. I'm in the ring because I was the trainer at the time, and I was just like looking at him. I was like, what character do you want to like I was doing it all professionally with some sort of like attitude for no reason. I was like, who do you want to most be as? He was like, Dean Ambrose. I was like, get in the ring. First thing we did was a lockup, and then I started teaching him like the bumps and like simple shit. Everything he knows now he taught himself, but I taught him like the couple basics, like how to hit, how to sell, not how to sell. I mean, he sells it. He's weird, but like how to hit properly, close lines, all that happy, fancy horse shit. And now look at him.
One of the biggest.
The dashing Dae Young, the infamous Dae Young, the broken heart of RSPW, Dae Young. The Monarch Dae Young. Just Dae Young in general. And this is a new topic I want to get into, factions. I want to get into factions right now. So you were a part of a couple factions, a lot of factions, but one in particular that makes me laugh because I was involved in it, the X Factor. Before you even speak on this, let me tell you how I joined the X Factor. Okay?
I remember that fucking shit.
Hold on.
You put on the fucking...
No, this was a 2-on-1. It was a 2v2. I forgot who I was facing, but Prince Icon came back as my tag team partner. We win the match. We come out. We're celebrating with Mountain Dew. And then you come out with Dae Young and one other person.
I think it was Jonah the Great.
Yeah, it was Jonah the Great.
I always used to team up with him.
And I was so looking. Fun. We were already in the ring, me and Icon, and then all of a sudden, super kick Prince Icon. Boom, domed right to the face. We all start jumping him. Dark Scorpion comes out. We all exit the ring fast as hell. You guys stood outside the ring. We circled the ring Shield style, and I ran into the ring, and Dark Scorpion just fucking booted me right in the eye. And I was knocked out, unconscious. Like, you see, he tries to pick me up, and I'm just dead. And then, like, I was in the X Factor, and then a couple days after that, I made a promo saying I was no longer in the X Factor. I was in the X Factor for, like, 5 seconds.
You pulled the same thing SW did when he joined it. Because it was me, Jonah, and I believe Dae Young.
Dae Young was in the X Factor.
That was when you left.
Well, I was never technically in it if you don't count.
Well, when you quote unquote left, then SW turned, joined us, and then cut a promo like a month later, like, oh, I don't need the X Factor. I'm not a part of it, and that pissed me off because I had a lot of plans for him.
It's just funny, like, if we're talking about factors, like, I feel like, you remember that stupid storyline I did with that dumbass mask where it was on a pole and then, like, I was, like, on my knees and then you put it on my face and it was, like, some weird bodyguard thing. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about, some dumbass shit we used to do.
Yeah, but it's a lot of the dumb stuff that made some of the great stuff work.
Right.
Because we use a lot of that old stuff to make new stuff make sense.
Right, because how many times did me and you team and just never did anything with it? Like, at all. Like, all the time. Same thing with me and Desmond. The only time me and Desmond teaming made sense was anti-everything, and that's the funnest tag team.
Who knows, man? You might join the Empire. We'll have all 3 belts then.
That's not fair. Like, honestly, I don't know. Like, character aside, like, if I'm, like, talking as Hunter and not Damien, that's not a fair team. Like, me and Icon aren't a fair team. So now you're adding you in the mix. Like, that's just not fair at all. Like, that's not, nobody could beat us.
We got all the belts. So.
Right. But besides that, let me ask you this question. What was your favorite tag team to be a part of or faction?
My favorite was the Order. I love that. It was me, Christian, Mike, and Jonah.
I remember that. I loved the
fuck out of that because the character I was portraying worked. And that's what... I will take all the credit and say that is the faction that created Christian Cross. That is what made Christian Cross...
Hold on. I'm going to have to argue with that a little bit. When Christian returned and had the new body, like if you watch some of Christian's old stuff, that dude was a fucking stick. But when he came back, he had this new attitude. Like, he had the willingness to learn. Like, outside of wrestling, I'm not cool with Christian. Like, I'm not. But, like, if I put all that aside and talk about how he is wrestling, he could be potentially one of the greatest we have in RSPW. He could potentially beat Carmelo Lee for the belt. he would put on a 5-star match with TJ Jackson or Ty Remedy. I could see Christian doing that. But he doesn't put forth any effort to want to be here. And besides that, I would love to see him return and come back. Yeah. But you definitely helped him. Because when you guys turned on him, he joined the Betrayed, which lasted one show. Which could have potentially been a great faction, but
the whole
order though.
The whole order's storyline was just great. And the A-List Mafia was fun too.
The A-List Mafia was fun, but one thing that pissed me off is one of your tag team partners was an egotistical dickhead. That stole my belt.
That was mainly.
But that was outside of his character.
That was outside of character, but it was part of his character too. But
he stole my belt.
He still has that belt.
I know. I want it back.
We can hunt him down.
I want that belt back.
But all that's aside, I remember the day I actually I loved the Authority in WWE. So, I loved the Seth Rollins, the Triple
when you were
H,
doing your Constable character before I
That's what spiked the idea of the group.
What was funny is I remember out of nowhere, me and Icon were talking and we just you were pissing us off for some stupid ass reason. I forgot, you're always pissing someone off and vice versa. Oh, yeah. So I remember we were having some outside thing and I come out, cut this weird little promo, and then all of a sudden, I just say, "You've been stripped of your general manager duties," and you were just sitting over there on the swing what? You were pissed. You were pissed off, and we did that on purpose. Just wanted to let you know we did that on purpose. Because you were pissing us off with whatever. I forgot. This was a year or two ago, but...
Yeah. I remember that day, but like I was saying with the order, I remember I hit up Jonah. Jonah was my favorite person to work with.
Jonah's a fun guy. He's just very stressful on commentary.
I liked him because he was I was bringing him in and I was trying to give him stardom, and it worked. Because after I turned on him, I remember the whole storyline where I turned on him and we used to beef on fucking Facebook Live back and forth.
I remember the Facebook days. Don't even. I don't even.
We still have those.
I don't want to talk about that.
Let me see. I found the notorious video of you falling off the fucking wooden ladder.
That wasn't me. I didn't fall off the ladder.
No, you fell off before him and you busted your ass and you hit your tailbone. And then Dae Young went on the ladder, and you or whoever pushed him off.
I didn't push him off. I don't remember how it happened.
You tried to help him,
to do something with the ladder, and the leg of the ladder broke. You can't expect two people. I found this ladder in my attic.
That ladder,
I don't know, but not even besides that. That was the day. I got kicked out the day after because everybody assumed I was racist because they thought I knocked Dae Young off the ladder on purpose.
I remember those.
I
have those videos on my phone.
They're all on Facebook. I went through, and if you look at Christian in that ladder match, ew. No offense to Christian, he was so skinny. And that was a weird ladder match, too. 5 people. Me, Christian Cross, Dae Young, King B, and Prince Icon.
I remember when...
That was so weird.
I remember when Prince came out. He had the glasses on. He always he wears glasses. And he came
You remember when he used to come out in the Nikes?
He came out with the Nikes, the glasses, and he looked at the camera and he said, "My name's Lil Whitey." I don't know why he said, "My name's Lil Whitey."
It was so
And
cringe.
it's a meme. It's been a meme since.
Back to the factions stage of this, you obviously had some great tag teams. My 2 favorite tag teams that have, made the most sense, that I've been in the most. Obviously, my favorite tag team will always be Anti-Everything because me and Dae Young just didn't care. We went out, we would talk shit, we would have fun. That was the thing. We were jokers. We would have our fun, but we were dominant at the same time. When I did the promo against Shotgun Jackson, when we came out laughing and just joking around, that's what we were. We were the heel tag team, but we were also the guys who were making fun of everybody. And I missed that. Don't get me wrong. I don't care what anybody in RSPW says. You are not a true RSPW superstar, and you have not truly had the RSPW experience if you have not teamed with Dae Young. Dae Young is the best person to tag with if you want to have fun.
Oh yeah.
But the other fact,
that's what I'm gonna talk on that. Actually, the Anti-Everything. I think, in my opinion, that's what brought his stardom. That's what got Desmond, Day Young, whatever you want to call him, noticed. I think that was what brought him from nothing to something.
Everybody knew that, like, me and Icon were best friends, and we were always going back and forth. And I remember we had a triple threat match because everybody found out me, Day Young, and Icon had our own friendship. So we were like the iconic trio. That's what we called ourselves. We were like best friends. We were doing everything outside of wrestling together. When it came to wrestling, we took that and used it. So we had this triple threat match, and it was me versus Day Young versus Icon. And this is when Day Young was the heel, and me and Icon were the face. And me and Icon were working together trying to get Day Young to, come back to us. But in reality...
That was that one notorious video where you guys put the hands up and he walked under you guys, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And then I grabbed Icon by the face and just threw him on the ground. All right, so we took a commercial break and we forgot what the fuck we were talking about. So something with factions. But on to that final topic. Right now, you're obviously in the Empire, you and Icon. This is a two-parter question. First part of the question is, will we see more members joining the Empire in the future? And the final question after that, I know your desire to become RSPW champion. It's literally what has driven JCR Core and Antonio Sylva throughout his entire career, is being RSPW champion. You've held that title more times than anybody else. You, I'm pretty sure, are still the longest reigning one, but Prince Icons or Carmelo Lee is still close to breaking that. But we know you. We know your past. How is that going to play out? Because you being YouTube champion just doesn't sit right. So, first part of the question, will we see more Empire members?
You will.
Who? Give us the details. Who? It could be me. It could be me.
I can't say.
It could be me.
It could be.
It could be Day Young.
It could be.
It could be
J-Mac. I don't know.
It could be. Who knows?
It could be SW.
Yeah, who knows?
But I can't really put that on. But there's supposed to be an addition of possibly 2.
Ooh,
2.
4 people faction?
Possibly 2.
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, technically 2. But that's all I really could say. Now, what was that second one?
Second part. I know your drive as RSPW champion. I know you've always wanted that belt. That is always your goal. It's always been your goal, is to hold it, keep it, and when you lose it, you just get it right back. Because that's what JCR Core / Antonio Silva has always done. The reason I'm saying JCR Core / Antonio Silva is you've done everything as JCR Core. So I don't want the fans to think that it's a whole entirely different person. So when I say that, it's like Carmelo Lee is RSPW World Heavyweight Champion. You're a YouTube champion, but you guys are a team. I know JCR Core / Antonio Silva. I know deep down inside you're craving that belt from Carmelo right now. Seeing Antonio Silva as YouTube champion doesn't sit right considering your past. Mm-hmm. So I would like to know how you feel about your brother / tag team partner is going to be an issue for you becoming RSPW champion, because I know you want that belt. Everybody wants that belt. I want it. Day Young wants it. Everybody wants that belt. But you've had a very special desire for that belt, and you've always done whatever it takes to get it. And no matter who you turned on, who you claimed to be your best friend and partner at the time, you've always looked out for yourself. How does being in the Empire make everybody believe that you're not just going to repeat that cycle?
So the Empire, like I told you, it came up to an idea, whatever. It's different this time. We're doing this not for each other. We're doing this for ourselves. We don't consider each other a team. We consider each other we're just there. You know what I mean? Like, we're just like 2 walking objects. Because if anybody can agree, because at the moment, your face, Day Young's kind of tweener. He's not really fully heel. He's not fully face. He's
a general manager. That's his role. He plays both sides. At least for him anyway.
Ty Remedy, face. Me and Prince Icon. Yes.
Ty Remedy's a face.
For what's yeah.
I was gonna say, didn't he just kidnap Carmelo Lee's girlfriend?
That story.
I don't even want to get involved. I'm gonna let them do whatever fucking.
That's we put that on hold. We put that on hold. But for what they're doing right now, yes. But for that, heel. Whatever. Besides the point. So for the Empire and the title, I want the belt. I've been ever since I lost the belt when I was the first everyone to hold the I can't talk. The first person to hold the world title belt. I was the first one to hold that big gold belt.
I've only held it 3 times, and I don't even remember who I beat for him because I never beat you for it. I don't think. I know I beat Icon or Carmelo Lee once, but the other 2 times I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but
weird.
Because I remember when we got the belt.
I remember when we were using some broken fucking World Heavyweight Championship belt, and besides using that, we were using the WWE Championship belt that broke. Like we were down bad.
But Rocky gave that belt to me. John the Rock. He came to the house one day. He's like, "Hey, got a gift for you for the guys. You wrestling, whatever." Gave me that belt, and that's his mom's belt actually that his mom gave to him. And sadly, R.I.P. Mama Rocky. But after she passed away, he's like, "You just can keep the belt." But he wanted me to be the first one to hold the belt. Now that I'm with this group, the Team Empire, there is still a side of me that's like, fuck it, dude. Just fuck it. Let's just go for that belt. But at the same time, I enjoy being on the side of my brother because, like, out of anybody that is in that company, he is the closest to me.
But it's weird, though. Like, if you're looking at it from, like, say, my viewpoint, Dave Young's viewpoint, even Carmelo's viewpoint, we're all expecting you to just turn. We're all expecting you to just, one of these days just say, you know what? Fuck this guy and just take back the belt because you've always done that. That's what makes your character so good is you've always done that same thing, but you've made it better and improved it each and every time. So we're just waiting. Everybody knows it's going to happen. You can deny it and deny it and deny it. We all know it's going to happen. And but the thing is we never expect it.
That's the great thing about wrestling. There's unexpected things. So
we're expecting it, but we're not expecting it. Like we know you from past events. We know
Prince lives with me. We live in the same house. We're talking about ideas every day. So anything can happen. Anything. For God's sake, we could just cut a promo tomorrow and say we don't want to be teammates anymore. You never know. That is why that's why I like working with him, is because me and him have great ideas together, and that's why we decided to be a team.
Yeah.
Because we are we're brothers, and it works together. It's the Hardy Bros.
And it's like every time Carmelo Icon has been in a tag team, that tag team has always been great. Always. The Prophecy, one of the greatest teams of all time. And this is before me being in it. Before Damian Saint joining the Prophecy, they were one of the greatest teams of all time. Me being there was pretty much pointless. But besides that, every team Icon has been with, whether it was with you, with me, with J-Mac, with anybody he's tag team with, it's pretty much almost everybody, that team has been relevant.
I'm still very aggravated that I was taken out of that, because I was supposed to be before you.
I was only in it because I was drunk and I had a hangover and returned the next day. Nobody knew I was returning. But I was just like, you know what? I'm bored. This was one of the first times I retired. I was like, I'm bored. I want to wrestle. As I'm drunk, I'm like, I'm bored. I want to wrestle. Wake up the next morning with a hangover. I'm returning fighting Gason K. So that it just happened.
Yeah.
But even before me joining, they were still the greatest team. Like what they were doing, you had Dae Young 2 belts, who held the Northeastern and YouTube at the same time, while Icon at the time was holding the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, they had RSPW on lock. And what I'm saying is what freaks me out is since the prophecy, the icon has been top dog since the prophecy. Anybody can say whatever they want. The prophecy is what made Carmelo Lee and Prince Icon and Carmelo Lee. The prophecy made Dae Young the dominant person he is. Prophecy really didn't do much for me because I kind of already had myself, solidified as relevant, I would say. But now look at them. It's difficult. It's hard to process.
Like I said, man, you guys are just gonna have to, fans,
I'm eager to find. I'm not even involved, and this is the first time I'm not involved with something with you guys. And I just want to know.
Nobody knew that I was gonna come out at the end of the match and attack Dae Young.
Between you and me, are you gonna turn on?
I can't.
You can trust me. This is a safe environment.
I can't say anything on the podcast, and it's gonna ruin everything.
You know Carmelo doesn't listen to this. Just give the fans what they want to hear. Are you going to do what you've always done?
It's a flat no. I can't tell you. I told you this. I can't. You're gonna. It could happen the 18th. You never know. I can't.
Are you giving us a little teaser?
I can't tell you.
Okay. Well.
I literally can't tell you.
On that
I'm hoping the 18th we have a decent crowd. I'm hoping. Oh, so this is actually a cool thing for the fans to know. We actually have a live performance for Starcade. We actually have a live performance that day.
From?
My buddy Solo War, you know him. He actually has been recording, performing, all that. He knows how to perform, and I called him myself and asked him if he wanted to perform. He's gonna come on and perform. We actually might have 2 performers that day, so I don't care who it is. But I'm planning to have someone kind of like how NXT they have the band come out first, then the first match, then they do a couple skits or whatever, then they have another performer or the same performer come out do another song, and then the main event, So that's just a cool thing that the fans can look up to seeing. You could follow him on Spotify, Apple Music. It's SoloWar.247. Check him out. His music is really nice. He's got a lot of good music. I'm not even joking about that. His music is fire in my playlist.
On that note,
you already know, we're already sponsored by Perspectives New York. Check them out.
They sing my theme song.
We're also sponsored by another band, Junexa New York.
They're good.
Junexa actually is allowing us to use any of their songs. Because I know the vocalist personally, so.
Yeah, Perspectives is dope, but I've been a Perspectives guy for 3 years. Theme song has been Flatline. I've had 1 or 2 shows where I've changed it, but I've always came back to Flatline. But June 18th, I'm debuting a new song.
Oh, me too.
I've decided to, I want to involve the fans in my entrance. So the song I chose that is definitely going to get the fans involved.
Oh, yeah, mine is.
But besides that,
super heavy.
We're going to end on this note. Thank you, Antonio Sylva, for being a part of the Talk to Saint podcast. And to remind you fans, if you guys have gotten this far on the podcast, June 18th, we are doing a show. Probably won't get uploaded until the 19th, but it will be there. July 2nd, surprise show, nothing confirmed. You're going to see Antonio Sylva. Are you defending the YouTube Championship on the 18th? He's defending the YouTube Championship. You're going to see me defend my Northeastern Championship against the General Manager, the Monarch, Dae Young. You are going to see Carmelo Lee do whatever he does, because I don't know, because if you guys watched the most recent video, Ty Remedy got into a car accident. So that's always fun. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Talk is Saint with Antonio Sylva. Stay tuned for the next episode. See ya.